Stevens, it's good to have you. You did a talk about cybersecurity, and you have a unique perspective that you come from both government, Capitol Hill, and administration environment. Now you're with Palo Alto Networks, and there's one question which has been on my mind, because we also saw the talk of Nelly Cruz this morning, and it's really this question that in Europe, in the European market, we are very much dependent on US companies, be it Google or Amazon for storage, or Palo Alto Networks and a lot of high-tech companies for securing that. Now, how do you think that plays out in the relation between Europe's need for trust and the dependency on the US government? And they need to find each other, obviously. So what's your take on that, and what could industry do in working together? Maybe, which is happening in the US, but should it intensify with Europe? What's your take on this matter, that we don't have a big IT industry ourselves?
Thank you very much for inviting me. It was a great conference so far. Specifically on the issue of international cooperation, cybersecurity is a global issue, and the trust that we have that underpins our digital ways of life across borders. I know that there are a lot of European companies too that have very big importance in the United States, and we recognize these global brands in the US and we identify with them. I have an Orangina just about whenever I can with breakfast. But it's, this issue of cybersecurity and digital trust is something that crosses borders and crosses nations. And I really view that as a US but international security company, we have a role to play too in helping bridge those gaps between the political boundaries to share information on threats and work together at preventing cyber threats and destroying the digital trust that we risk slipping away with every cyber attack.
So, we were speaking earlier, and you also said we share really the same risk. The risk or the attack is much bigger than the individual countries or even the individual continents. You really have to work really together there. With the Cybersecurity Alliance, of which you're a big fan, and Palo Alto Networks is in, I looked at the numbers you needed to get in, really the information you need to share as a security concern. And this is staggering. Like, you have to find 1,000 new threats each day to share with the community before you can become a full member. Now, for somebody from the outside looking at those numbers, it's huge, and it seems like, how is this manageable if you have 30, 40, 50,000 threats which don't overlap? So clearly you think it's a battle which can be won, but those numbers are humongous.
That's the issue with the internet, right? Is that to humans and individual users, the scale seems massive. But really, with the visibility that we have at Palo Alto Networks across our customer base, the initial requirement of 1,000 is actually quite small compared to what we see every day.
It seems so big.
It seems huge. And really, we established this as a lower bar in cooperation. Sharing malware is very big within the Cyber Threat Alliance. However, what we are really focused on is actually working together on joint intelligence that provides context around broader attack campaigns. Because we really believe it's this intelligence context that our customers need to better protect themselves. And so we can really drive innovation into the security industry so we can work faster than the attacker to actually prevent cyber threats.
But you're doing that within your own customer base, because everybody, they agree to use Wildfire, the threat security cloud, to share information, because everybody profits, obviously. Your call is, let's do that all together, because it's not the knowledge about the threats which differentiates the companies. You have to be better in the countermeasures or the user interface or customer. It's those things which differentiate a company, and not the knowledge about the threats. You cannot play that out as a competitive point anymore.
That's absolutely right. If we're going to change the economics of cybersecurity, we really need to focus on sharing this cyber threat intelligence, not just across companies, but also across nations too. This threat intelligence should make the entire community stronger. And then it's up to security companies like Palo Alto Networks to work on innovative solutions to really drive that prevention down at their customer level. We've built an entire community within Palo Alto Networks that looks at unknown attacks and stops attacks on the endpoint and provides that security to applications that our customers use. But it's really about building that prevention engine within our company that ensures that all of our customers receive that protection based off of each individual action and sharing that back out to the broader community.
Right, and then on a final note, as an insider, you're keenly aware of the cooperation between Europe and the US, or China for that matter, is not really trivial, because there seems to be the cultural differences. Are you, from your perspective, are we on the right road? Are things moving in Brussels, between Brussels and Washington? Do you see advances there?
Yeah, Europe has been a long-time partner on, IT as well as cybersecurity. And I think, when we really look at what's most important to protect, we look at our critical infrastructure and those services that really run our daily lives, the backbone of the internet. And these are things that sort of transcend politics. As humanity, and from a global need, we have grown critically reliant upon the internet and that backbone infrastructure. And these are issues that we can work together as a global community to try and find solutions to solve some of the critical challenges that threaten our ability to access this global resource.
So you actually see it happening. So that's good. That's good news then.
Absolutely, and I think conferences like this too go a long way to educating a lot of those companies to that key risk that they face losing if they don't properly secure themselves. And I think that by educating those individual users, they become part of that broader global community and help us address these threats on a larger level.
Well, great. Thanks for being here. You'll be around. Some people will try to want to speak to you, I noticed earlier. So, well, have a great stay in the Netherlands.
Thank you very much,
David.
sir. Enjoyed my time.